lot of people tried to, but nobody ever gets it just right.
As she turned 80 amidst the tranquil surroundings of Hurricane Mills Ranch, the queen of country music, Loretta Lynn, decided for the first time to break a decade-long silence. She spoke not of awards, but of a vow to protect honor between herself and the man in black. What exactly led Johnny Cash to make that final secret phone call to Loretta just 48 hours before drawing his last breath? And why was Loretta willing to trade her personal reputation to conceal the darkest corners for her soulmate? Today, we look back at the archival files, exclusive reports, and the late-life self-narration of Loretta Lynn herself at the age of 80.
A lot of them did banned it because they thought the record was dirty, and they thought it was dirty. It was nothing dirty about anything.
Upon reaching 80 in 2012, Loretta Lynn decided to break the silence that had lasted over a decade since the day Johnny Cash departed this world. This was the moment she published landmark memoirs, directly confronting the persistent rumors regarding the relationship between the two. The launch event for the book, Honky Tonk Girl: My Life in Lyrics, became the focal point of the Nashville media. In the shocking interviews that followed, she did not hesitate to mention Johnny with absolute respect. She once asserted, "Johnny was the only man who understood me without me having to explain." This declaration extinguished all doubts about the illicit affairs commonly seen in the entertainment industry. Loretta publicly confirmed the affection between them as a form of platonic love, a pure and sacred love. She explained that this bond was based on an understanding of shared pain and common impoverished origins. In one of the most surprising revelations, Loretta disclosed that Johnny once had moments of attraction that exceeded friendship. She was the one who skillfully held back to protect the integrity of the families on both sides. She chose to preserve the dignity of her own marriage and that of June Carter. This event completely changed the way the public perceived the man in black through Loretta's lens. She did not speak of an addicted star, but of a soul longing to be understood. Their friendship became a symbol of a rare loyalty in the heart of a Hollywood full of scandals. By 2016, even as her health declined, Loretta still carried out a special musical project titled Full Circle. It is noteworthy that she chose Cash Cabin Studio in Hendersonville as the recording location. This was the most private and sacred space where Johnny spent his final days working. Here, Loretta shared strange spiritual experiences while making the recordings. She recounted the feeling of Johnny's presence in the old studio. This connection helped her complete the album with a transcendent spirit, as if the two were performing one final duet. On October 4th, 2022, the world was shocked by the news that the queen of country music had passed away peacefully at her home in Hurricane Mills.
Tributes have been paid to country music star Loretta Lynn, who has died at the age of 90.
She lived to the age of 90, leaving a void that cannot be filled in the hearts of fans. Her passing marked the end of a golden era of American music. Information from the family stated she was buried next to her late husband in the family cemetery. Shortly thereafter, the Country Music Hall of Fame organized special exhibitions. The legacies of Loretta Lynn and Johnny Cash were once again placed side by side in the tribute of millions. The truth about the link between them did not begin from brilliant spotlights, but was molded from shared pain and the harshness of fate. This destiny was actually seated in the poorest rural areas of America, where two lonely souls found each other through song. Children of dirt and coal. The history of world music marks 1932 as a fateful milestone when both legends were born into extreme poverty. Loretta Lynn was born in Butcher Hollow, Kentucky, while Johnny Cash took his first breath in the wind-swept land of Dyess, Arkansas. Both grew up in large working-class families where hunger and deprivation were daily realities. Loretta's father was a dedicated coal miner, while Johnny's family were farmers clinging to the cotton fields of a resettlement project. The harshness of their environment forged the resilient strength found in their voices later on. Childhood days without electricity or clean water became the most authentic material for the soulful music of both artists. In 1944, a horrific tragedy occurred, completely altering the life trajectory of the then 12-year-old Johnny Cash. His older brother Jack Cash, whom Johnny deeply idolized, passed away following a catastrophic table saw accident at a timber mill. This loss planted a deep darkness in Johnny's soul, creating his melancholy and haunting musical style. Loretta Lynn later revealed that this shared pain of losing a loved one early in life was the invisible thread that bound her and Johnny so tightly. Meanwhile, Loretta's life also faced major turning points early on when she married Oliver Lynn at the age of 15. Becoming a wife and mother while still so young pushed her into a journey of maturity that was full of hardship but also immense willpower. Under the pressure of making a living, Loretta and her husband migrated to Washington State in hopes of finding a brighter future. There, she began to familiarize herself with the guitar and wrote her first lines of music about the plight of women. At the same time, Johnny Cash also left his hometown to join the United States Air Force and was stationed in Landsberg, West Germany. During his years of military service, he formed his first band and began composing melodies that carried the breath of life. The distance from home and the loneliness in a foreign land urged both to seek music as a means of soul salvation. They both realized that music was not just a passion, but the only path to escape the poverty that had surrounded them since childhood. The year 1955 marked a major turning point when Johnny Cash officially signed with the prestigious Sun Records in Memphis. With the song "Cry, Cry, Cry," he quickly became a new phenomenon, bringing a fresh breeze to a saturated country music scene. As for Loretta, she persevered by performing at small bars before catching the eye of Zero Records in early 1960. Her debut recording, "I'm a Honky Tonk Girl," helped her assert her position as a promising and authentic female vocalist. They came from places where hope was the greatest luxury. But it was the mud of Arkansas and the coal dust of Kentucky that created two indomitable souls when they first met at the Cathedral of Nashville. Alliance under the Opry lights. In 1961, backstage at the Grand Ole Opry, the Cathedral of Country Music, a historic meeting took place. Loretta Lynn was then only a rising artist, trembling with fear under the pressure of Nashville's largest stage. Amidst a crowd of powerful male artists, Johnny Cash proactively stepped forward to break the tension for his young colleague. He took her hand and made a prophetic assertion: "You are going to be the biggest star here." That gesture of kindness did not just help Loretta regain her composure, but also laid the foundation for a steadfast alliance lasting many decades. In the music landscape of the 1960s, which was rife with discrimination, Johnny chose to stand by Loretta. The Nashville music industry at that time was a world dominated by men and conservative rules. Loretta Lynn began to cause a stir with songs featuring blunt lyrics about the lives of working-class women. When she released recordings such as "Don't Come Home A-Drinkin'," many broadcasting stations vehemently protested and intended to issue airplay bans. They believed her perspective was too rebellious and inconsistent with the traditional moral standards of the day. It was Johnny Cash who used his immense prestige and influence to intervene directly with radio station managers. He spoke up to protect Loretta's right to sing about the truth, helping her messages reach the public. This protection was particularly vital when Loretta released the song "The Pill," a work addressing women's reproductive control. Thanks to the silent backing of people like Johnny, Loretta's music was not extinguished. Behind the glamour of fame, Loretta soon recognized the painful hidden corners in Johnny's life. Backstage at performances, she was among the very few who witnessed his crises. During this period, Johnny Cash began abusing amphetamines and sedatives to combat the pressure of a dense performance schedule. Loretta frequently saw him in a state of exhaustion, his eyes lifeless due to drug binges that lasted for days. Instead of stigmatizing or distancing herself as many others did, Loretta chose an approach full of tolerance and silence. She understood that her friend was being tormented by internal demons and the loneliness of the summit. Loretta regularly supported Johnny by maintaining absolute privacy for him whenever he encountered incidents before going on stage. Her quiet presence became a safe spiritual anchor for the man in black. By the end of the 1960s, the careers of both artists reached a brilliant peak with a series of chart-topping hits. In 1969, Johnny Cash officially launched his television program titled The Johnny Cash Show on ABC. Throughout its broadcast duration, Loretta Lynn was the most frequent guest appearing in the show's episodes. The chemistry between them was shown not only through their duets, but also through the way they conversed and interacted. Together, they created historic television moments by sharing the hidden corners of family and poverty. This was very rare during an era when artists usually tried to build a polished, perfect image. But the glamour of #1 hits was merely a facade. Behind the wings, Loretta had to face a very different Johnny Cash, a man on the brink of collapse due to narcotics and the demons in his head. The compact with June Carter. The 70s opened with continuous concert tours where the boundary between glory and chaos became more fragile than ever. At a luxury hotel in Toronto, a bizarre incident occurred when Johnny Cash purchased over 500 baby chicks during a drug-induced manic episode. He released all the chicks to run wild throughout the corridors and guest rooms, causing a scene of horrific turmoil for the hotel staff. Loretta Lynn, instead of resting after the show, stayed up all night to work with the employees, gathering every single chick into boxes to protect Johnny. This action by Loretta not only saved Johnny from police intervention, but also kept the tour contract from being canceled. She silently cleaned up the wreckage caused by her friend, regarding it as part of the responsibility of a soulmate. During this period, the media continuously fabricated scenarios of jealousy between Loretta and June Carter Cash, Johnny's wife. However, in reality, the press recorded a close alliance between these two iron women to protect Johnny's life. They established an extremely strict, unspoken agreement. There would always be at least one person on duty by his side to control his addiction episodes. If June was exhausted after long trips, Loretta would immediately take over the role of guardian backstage. Loretta's sacrifice went even further when she was willing to trade her personal honor in the most critical situations. During a surprise security check at a show, she quickly hid Johnny's drug bags inside her own dress. Loretta accepted the risk of being arrested and ruining her reputation, just to ensure that the career of the Man in Black did not collapse. She once shared in an interview that she would rather endure scandal than see a legend led away in handcuffs. Despite their deep empathy, direct conflicts existed between them regarding artistic perspectives and stylistic directions. Johnny repeatedly advised Loretta to restrain her grittiness and change her image to become softer and more accessible to the masses. However, with the stubborn nature of a miner's daughter, Loretta flatly refused and asserted she would never change her identity. She was determined to maintain her direct way of singing about sensitive social issues, regardless of pressure from music executives. Johnny's respect for Loretta grew steadily after such fiery professional confrontations. He realized that her stubbornness was the very weapon that helped country music keep its raw soul amidst the rising wave of commercialization. The bond between them was based not only on protection, but also on challenging one another to progress together in art. Their duets during this era often carried a special energy, reflecting absolute sincerity and trust. In 1980, when the biographical film about Loretta was released, Johnny was the most ardent supporter at the premieres. He publicly affirmed to the press that no one could replace Loretta Lynn's position in the hearts of country music fans. In the early years of the 80s, when the health of both began to show signs of overstrain, they still maintained unconditional support. Letters and phone calls exchanged between the two families became a precious source of spiritual encouragement in the face of changing times. As decades passed and contemporaries gradually passed away, the connection between Loretta and the Cash family became so sacred that it surpassed all limits of an ordinary friendship. Tears in Hendersonville. From 1986 onward, the relationship between Loretta Lynn and Johnny Cash shifted into a quieter but deeper chapter in the Hendersonville, Tennessee area. Loretta decided to purchase a large plot of land located very close to the Cash family's lakeside estate. This geographical proximity allowed them to maintain a friendship that did not require the noise of the media or the spotlights of the stage. Local press frequently captured images of the two legends sitting quietly on a porch overlooking Old Hickory Lake. During those late afternoons, they no longer discussed charts or the high-pressure tours of the past. Instead, they shared the silence of those who had traversed every ups and downs and thoroughly understood the loneliness of fame. The pain of losing loved ones also became a cruel glue that bonded the two souls closer together during this period. When Loretta's eldest son, Jack Benny Lynn, passed away in a drowning accident in 1984, Johnny was the first to arrive. He overcame the barriers of his own agonizing illnesses to be by the side of and embrace his close friend in her despair. Johnny comforted her with a poignant sentence. "Now we both have children up there." This reminder alluded to the loss of Johnny's firstborn son many years prior, creating a sympathy that reached the depths of the soul. They understood the pain of parents who must send off their own children, a tragedy that no words can describe. Entering 2003, an atmosphere of mourning began to shroud the country music community when June Carter passed away in May. The departure of his devoted wife caused Johnny Cash to collapse completely, both mentally and physically, during his final months. Loretta Lynn recalled that the once strong friend was now merely a thin, frail shadow inside the empty house. She persisted in visiting Johnny every week, spending hours sitting by his hospital bed to care for and encourage him. In those final moments, she often read to him passages of the Bible that they both had loved since childhood. These religious lines brought a rare spiritual solace to the man in black at the threshold of death. Johnny's health declined severely due to complications from Scheidreger syndrome, leaving him almost unable to move or converse. Nevertheless, the link between him and Loretta remained resilient through brief but meaningful phone calls. Just 2 days before drawing his last breath on September 12, 2003, Johnny Cash made a secret call to Loretta. The content of this conversation was kept absolutely private by her against the pursuit of the press for 10 years. It was only later that she tearfully revealed Johnny called her not to say goodbye or hand over any musical legacy. His sole purpose at that moment was simply wanting to hear Loretta's laughter one last time. He wished to carry the happy sound of his soulmate into eternity instead of the cries of illness. That call became an invaluable spiritual relic that Loretta always cherished and kept in the hidden corners of her heart. The death of Johnny Cash that autumn left a void that could not be filled in the life of Loretta Lynn. She appeared at the funeral with a haunting silence, refusing all in-depth interviews regarding her late colleague. The story between Loretta Lynn and Johnny Cash is not just about love songs, but a testament to an eternal friendship that transcends all the harshness of life. When the stage lights fade, the only thing remaining is the kindness and loyalty they afforded one another for nearly a century. Thank you for joining us to decode the moving hidden corners regarding two of the greatest legends in country music. If you love documentary footage and true stories about music legends, please click like and subscribe to the channel today. Do not forget to leave a comment about which moment of Loretta and Johnny impressed you the most. Your support is the motivation for us to continue producing the next high-quality and in-depth content. Goodbye and see you again in our upcoming journeys to discover musical legacies.